So if you or yourself know of folks who have finance or an accounting background, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of flex your volunteer muscles in a different way. So again, I encourage you to look at Community Connect on the Business Volunteers platform and see if anything sparks your interest. And again, I'm available offline. Emily can connect you with me, or you can follow Business Volunteers on social media, and hopefully we will be volunteering again soon in person. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Lauren. And if anybody does have any questions, follow up with Lauren through chat, and I am taking a look at it now. And you'll also be given the information through a follow-up email from us. Lauren, is it okay if we provide your email or a general email account for BVF?
Yeah, you can absolutely reach out to me, or you can also just reach out to info@businessvolunteersmt.org, but I'll probably respond to you faster. So.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Up next, I think Billy was joining us from Baltimore Core.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah. Is it Sarah? Sorry, I can't see.
Yes, Sarah's here.
Oh, okay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. No problem. Hi. So my name is Sarah Fleming. I'm with Baltimore Core, and so excited to be here today. We've really enjoyed working with Emily and the Business Volunteers Maryland team. Shout out to my fellow GIV alum as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about Baltimore Core. I'll keep it pretty quick. So our work is focused on building pipelines for talent to advance Baltimore's most promising social innovations. And what that actually means is we kind of serve as a matchmaker. So we match talent to job opportunities. We match technical support to companies and organizations that are doing great work in Baltimore and need some support, whether it's business growth support, fundraising support, those kind of things, professional development. And we also match startup capital for early stage ideas. So we kind of serve as a matchmaker in a lot of different ways. So it really made sense for us to be involved in this project. We've helped a little bit on the back end with some of the platform, and then also helping to direct some opportunities towards Emily to post them on the site for you all to be engaged in. So we don't have direct volunteer opportunities with Baltimore Core, but we're helping to kind of facilitate the connections that are happening with a lot of urgent needs here in the city. And wanted to point you towards one particular way that you could help. We are recruiting for some positions that are urgent needs for COVID response roles. So right now, those are shelter monitors and case managers related to a lot of the work that's happening with the homeless population in Baltimore. So we'd love your help in spreading the word if you know of anyone who's looking for a job opportunity right now. It's a great way to be both involved in the response and also find a meaningful job opportunity. So feel free to check those out. Those are linked here on this, slide. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll keep it short and sweet. I know there's a lot of other content, but let me know if you have any questions.
Yep. Like I said, anybody that has questions, you can send them in the chat, and we will follow up either right now or through email. We'll also send all of the contact information through our follow-up. Sarah, what's a good way of contacting Baltimore Core if people are interested in any of the opportunities?
You can put my email there. It's just sarah@baltimorecore.org, and I can direct you towards the right person if it's not me.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks.
One of the things that we have been working a little bit with Baltimore Core on, or just wanting to help get the information out. I know Billy was working on this with the Able Improvement Association, which maybe a lot of you have already seen. It's gotten a lot of press as Baltimore Neighborhood Quarantine Response Teams, where you can sign up to basically help individual people in your neighborhood. So delivering meals, delivering medication, things like that, especially for elderly or immune compromised people in your neighborhood. So this is a great way of kind of getting involved with that as well. And it's a good opportunity if you do know somebody that might need these services to sign up through that. And then up next we have Colleen from the Loading Dock. The Loading Dock, so sad, was going to be our partner for our March event that we were all really looking forward to. The Loading Dock is doing some really wonderful things, and we're sad that we weren't able to help them out, but we did want to give a little bit of information about them. So, Colleen, are you unmuted?
I think so. Can everybody hear me? Hi, everybody. Thanks so much. And thanks Volunteering on Tap for having us today. My name is Colleen Emanuel. I am the Communications and Human Resources Director at the Loading Dock. And if people aren't familiar with us, we're not the liquor store. We are the nonprofit Building Materials Reuse Center. We're located in Southeast Baltimore, kind of near Highland Town. And probably the best way to describe us is like a thrift store meets a Home Depot, meets your handy neighbor's garage. And our mission has two parts to it, which is an environmental side where we are keeping things out of the landfill by redirecting them, and then saving community members money in their budget by offering affordable materials. So we are a nonprofit. We've been around since 1984. We're actually the first nonprofit building materials reuse center in the country. And right now is very difficult for us, like a lot of other organizations, because our operating mission is to be self-sustainable through the generated income of redistributing these materials. So right now, we've been closed to the public since March 24th. The 14th, we were supposed to have the big volunteer day, and we're so excited about it. But you know, for everybody's health and safety, we've closed our warehouse down to the public, significantly reduced staff on site to keep everybody safe and healthy. But it's really hard as a nonprofit to not be able to serve the community in the way that we usually do, but also we've got to sustain ourselves somehow. So right now, some direct ways that people can help, financial contributions are actually really the number one way we need help right now. Our general fund is basically helps us pay for things like our utility bills, our taking care of our 100-year-old warehouse, and also helping for paying for business insurances, staff, paying for our staff payroll, the folks who are really working hard to keep us going. If somebody wants to get a gift certificate for later on, this is something we recently rolled out to kind of help people still kind of get something later on when we're able to reopen the warehouse. For any amount helps. And then where we're kind of similar to a Costco is we have a membership program where people can get a membership for $10 for a year. It includes 2 people on the membership, and it allows people to come to the warehouse and acquire materials. And it actually supports a large part of our budget. So if somebody wants to get a membership, it's only $10 a year, and it really helps us out. But any of these ways, honestly, would be super significant to help us right now. And if anybody wants to contact me about some other ways to help, I'd be happy to talk to you later on. I also oversee the volunteer program, and I'm so excited for us to reopen eventually because we love our volunteers and we rely heavily on them. So if you're interested in volunteering in the future, once we reopen to the public, we'd love to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that this is wonderful information of how people can really help directly. You know, a lot of nonprofits, like I said, are struggling, but especially ones that base their income on being able to have people come in and out of their nonprofit right now are super, super hard hit. So if you do have the ability to financially give, this is a great organization. And we hope that you will help share this information to your network as well. And you can follow them and their progress and their reopening on Instagram and Facebook. So thank you, Colleen, so much. Thank you. Next up, we have Noah from the Baltimore Community Tool Bank, who was going to be our partner for our April event. It was the ever popular dumpster dive with Healthy Harbor and the trash wheel. I know that this is one of Kelly's favorite events. That there was a lot that's good that comes out of that event. It was fairly instrumental in helping with the Styrofoam ban in Baltimore City. So we are missing this event quite a bit as well. And also the Tool Bank, we miss you. So Noah, are you unmuted?
I am, yes. So good morning, everyone, VU crowd and all of our nonprofit partners that we work with. It's awesome to kind of see you. And I will at the same time say that I'm completely bummed that we are not sorting through trash at this point right now. That would have been today. So not to worry, we'll get back online and we'll do that again soon. Just a few words about the Tool Bank and our services. If you're familiar, we offer tools, equipment, and expertise to other community groups to empower the most ambitious goals. Obviously, at this time, you know, the crisis that everybody is going through at the same time, we have to think about new and different ways to serve that are still relevant to our staff safety. So right now, what the most important thing for everyone on the call to know is that the Tool Bank is as open as ever. We're on site 6 days a week. Now we're doing the distancing, we're doing that in a safe manner. But the most important thing is we have to have supplies and tools that go out to the most critical care service providers in the city. I'll give you a couple of examples. The photo here are just some masks and gloves that we donated to a local emergency room in partnership with Break a Difference, who I know VU is a fan of Break a Difference as well. I think there was a photo of that earlier. We are gathering some donations, but the most important thing that we're doing is our core service, which is tools and equipment, things like tables and chairs that are right now at the Pimlico racetrack for the first mobile or the first drive-through testing site in the city. Those were picked up by the Baltimore Fire Department on Thursday. The site opened yesterday, and they're using Tool Bank tools. During this time, we would normally be charging, you know, a very nominal 3% fee, but during disasters, the Tool Bank model is to immediately go to no charging. So any tools and equipment that we get out the door, we are not generating revenue from, but it's important that we do that because the last thing that we need our partners to do is worry about how they're gonna pay for things that they desperately need as of yesterday. So for everyone on this call, if you know anybody who is serving food, the Franciscan Center is a great example. They're serving over 1,000 meals a day. They're using things like safety cones to keep people at a safe social distance and signs to promote social distancing in a safe manner while people still wait online to get food. So even though we're not right front and center serving on the front lines, we serve the servers. And we are doing that now as we ever are. And that's what we're called upon to do. It's a strange and critical moment, and we are mobilizing to make sure that we get things out there. Now we're a small staff, small and mighty. There's 3 of us, myself, I know a lot of people know Give alum, Rachel Thompson's our program manager. And interestingly enough, we hired a 3rd person on March 9th. So a strange first month for our outreach coordinator, who hopefully you guys will all meet soon. We are hopeful that we can continue our payroll commitments and stay open, you know, without having tool revenues between now and what we at least think would go through September. We're losing about 3/4 of our tool revenue. And we have a big question mark on our fundraiser, which is Hammers and Nails. A lot of people on the call have been there before. That happens in October. But our runway to get sponsors is now. So that's obviously not happening in the same way. So we put out there that we do have a Facebook campaign that you can donate to. If you're sitting on your couch, look through the cushions, and if you have $3 or $5 to support any of these awesome groups on the call, that's really important at this time. And of course, we are looking at volunteer efforts as well. We have to be very careful and control our warehouse space in a safe manner. but we'll be using some of the other resources on the call to advertise when we are back to volunteering as normal.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Noah. The tool bank really is such a needed resource for so many nonprofits in Baltimore City. I know has saved us a ton of money with our events. So we always appreciate being able to partner with you and Tool Bank. And we're wishing you luck as you help the helpers. So thank you again.
Oh yeah, and if I could just throw in a plug, the best way to just watch what we're up to is to tune in on Facebook and Instagram. So it's just Baltimore Tool Bank on Facebook or at Be More Tool Bank on Instagram, because we'll have some things coming up, some virtual events and stuff, but tune in.
Thank you. And then, let's see, our in-person volunteering. Okay, yes, here we go. Okay. So we're going to shift gears just a little bit. We talked, that was kind of a little bit of a introduction to our partners who you would have been able to see firsthand in March and April, and we did want to give them an opportunity to talk with you. But we also want to provide some really concrete ways of people to still be involved over the next however long this goes on. So we have Central Baltimore Partnership. We have Aaron Kaufman with us. Central Baltimore Partnership, actually, you know what, I can't do nearly enough justice to it that Aaron can do. So I will, without further ado, let him talk. I know he's excited to.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Also, just big shout out to Emily for putting this together. I think, you know, much gratitude for wonderful partners together and everybody out on a Saturday morning, you know, even if it's just virtually. So my name's Aaron Kaufman. I'm with the Central Baltimore Partnership. We are a place-based community development nonprofit that supports 11 communities, primarily along kind of the North Avenue and Greenmount Avenue corridors. We are an indirect service provider, so we really are building kind of partnerships and coalitions with, you know, many of the groups involved today in order to more effectively provide the essential resources to our communities, and in many ways pass through funding so that our direct service providers can be more effective in their work. I kind of want to reiterate, you know, a lot of things that you've been hearing today already and that you will continue to hear, is that there's great ways to volunteer virtually, whether it's through your local response teams, call networks. Mental health support is going to be a really, really important thing going forward as we continue to isolate more extensively. And there's different ways to volunteer virtually. There's ways to volunteer in person. I know, again, some of the groups will talk a little bit about this later, but creating and issuing all of the personal protective equipment, not only for hospital workers, but also for the essential service providers, residents who are vulnerable. All of these groups need that PPE, and that's going to be a huge push for a lot of groups kind of in the immediate term. And then food insecurity is a big one. So I'll touch base on that a little bit by giving another shout out to the Franciscan Center as well. Thanks, Noah, for teeing me up for that one. So CBP provides a lot of support for, we're in the Station North Arts and Entertainment District. So we help artists, small businesses, and nonprofits navigate all of these relief funds from local to state to federal. We're helping people navigate the unemployment benefits processes and all of these different things. So I wanted to highlight one thing that we're doing, which is an intentional campaign called Square Meals, where we're working with our area hospital, which is MedStar Union Memorial, and about 10 of our area local restaurants. And so we've raised funding through Bank of America, through a couple corporate sponsors, and just recently through the John Harbaugh and Ingrid Harbaugh Foundation, as well as a plethora of individual donations from, you know, really generous folks to help provide meals for frontline workers at shift changes. And they're all provided by local restaurants on rotation. So we help coordinate this initiative. We had started with 4 meals a week, and now we are providing meals 7 days a week at breakfast and dinner. And for, I think we're fundraised through the next 6 to 8 weeks. So that, you know, provides healthcare workers with the fuel that they need, the variety of food. They still get to enjoy their favorite local restaurants, and it allows our local restaurants to sustain their operations through this tough time. So this is one opportunity, and what I wanted to also make clear is that if you are if you do have the ability to donate now, there is a community investment tax credit that's available, where if you donate over $500, you get 50% of that back as a tax credit this upcoming year. So essentially you are donating $500 for the cost of $250 and up. So just something to consider if you do want to give financially, wherever your passions and interests may align, that the community investment tax credit is a way for you to recoup some of that funding and also support the wonderful organizations that you align with. And then from an in-person perspective, I also wanted to give a big shout out to the Franciscan Center. We are working with so many different food providers, the Maryland Food Bank, Meals on Wheels, Movable Feast, Franciscan Center, our city partners, to make sure that all of our residents, whether it's an individual, from an individual perspective, or our housing facilities, have the appropriate food that's necessary, the PPE that's necessary, the medication delivery that's necessary. And the Franciscan Center has been like one of our rock star partners in the area. They continue to work 7 days a week. They are, like Noah said, providing over 1,000 meals a day. And they do still need in-person volunteers. We are also working, you know, collectively with them to get the PPE necessary, and they do everything in a really safe manner. So I would reach out to Angela Hall. Her contact information is on the slide here. They are always in need of volunteers so that they can continue the amazing work that they're doing. And public housing facilities and our affordable housing facilities, they're working with, you know, our community centers and local resident groups, our community groups, who are, you know, then navigating the individual block by block level. So they're just a really awesome partner. So we're really happy to be able to work, you know, kind of holistically, whether it's food access, navigating, you know, financial support for small businesses and our nonprofits, creating different campaigns that will help get the essential services to folks. So wonderful group of folks talking today, and I would just encourage you all to, you know, choose something that aligns with your passions and beliefs. And, you know, if you can give time, great. If you can give energy, great. And if you can give, you know, financial support, even better. So thanks, Emily, and I'll pass the baton to whoever's next.
Thank you, Aaron. Like I said, I just could not have said it better than you. And I do want to kind of touch a little bit once more on that community investment tax credit. It's a really cool program for organizations that actually have it available. CBP obviously does. So it's a 50% tax credit kind of off the bat. So if you donate $500, you get $250 back on your taxes. But you also get to, if you do your itemized deductions, I am not an accountant, so don't hold me to this, but it also helps kind of lower it even more. So it can be, you know, for $500, what's out of pocket is something like $200 or $175 actually out of pocket. Like I said, don't quote me on that. That's kind of what we have been told in the past about how that shakes out. But it's worth even asking, if it's not CBP, of the nonprofit that you're passionate about, to see if they have that opportunity available.
Yeah, we support folks who are donating to the partners that we're working with, but any of your partners probably can support you in that process.
All right, thanks again, Aaron. Let's see who's up next. Maggie from St. Vincent de Paul. If you joined us a few months ago. Ooh, when was that? September?
It was August. It feels like
August. Thank you. St. Vincent de Paul, we kind of took over their buildings in August and, beautified the block, beautified inside of their buildings, did a lot of things with our volunteers there. They were incredibly gracious.
And they painted our entire Head Start program, which was incredible.
Well, thank you, Maggie, for joining us. I will kind of let you take it away.
Yeah, so thank you for having me, and thank you to all of you incredible people who are doing this incredible work at this unforeseen time. It's so wonderful and honoring to be part of this. I am from St. Vincent de Paul of Baltimore.
Hi, is everybody still here? Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rose.
I think Maggie might have some technical difficulties. If everybody can hear me, can you kind of shake your head? Okay, so it's not me. Phew, that was like my worst nightmare this morning. Okay, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit on behalf of Maggie until she comes back. So St. Vincent de Paul. Oh, okay. Yep, there she is. Okay.
It's been working perfectly the whole time, and now that I'm talking.
Okay, not. I'll let you take it away.
All right, where did I go out?
Pretty much as soon as you started talking.
Awesome. All right, so yeah, St. Vincent de Paul, we have 20 programs, 16 different sites. Right now, all of our family shelters and our men's shelters are still open. We're making sure they get 3 meals a day, clothing and medical attention, everything they need. As you can imagine, that since we rely usually on in-kind and donation, it has been costing us quite a lot of money, but that is okay. But there are ways that you can get involved to help all of our families. One of the ways we can do is donating through Amazon. We have a wish list right now, which we have curated to our shelter's needs right now. People can provide bag lunches. Right now, our Kids Table program is serving 4,000 meals a day. And while in the past, most of those have been paid for at a very nominal price, we are not charging anything from them right now. So a bag lunch is a meat and cheese sandwich, chips, unrefrigerated beverage, soft fruit, and a cookie, or something, a small treat. Another thing we've been trying to do, it's really hard to buy things in bulk now, and generally our case managers have gone out and just bought lots of snacks so that our families can have something to eat. That is really hard to do right now. So some of our volunteers have been working together to collect different snacks and drinks that they can give to us. We have a need for about 800 masks right now because all of our family shelters, we do our best to keep social distancing, but it is tricky, especially when people get a little anxious sitting in their rooms all day. So we are trying to get masks for them and our staff who are working on the front line. Unfortunately, because we are not a medical institution, we are having trouble getting in touch with the vendors. So we are collecting mask thermometers and hand sanitizers. And also we have a volunteer program at Kids Table, which is the one who are making 4,000 meals a day, where we do have social distancing. We give you masks and gloves and you come in and you help make meals for everyone we're serving. So these are some ways to get involved, and as well as all the other ones you've heard today. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate just how much information you've put together for everybody. Like I said, we wanted to give information of like concrete ways that you can get involved. So St. Vincent de Paul has given us some really good information on how you can help either from home or in person or as a drop-off location, which is awesome. And we will be sending this information out with Maggie, your contact information.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, and I do have a question. Yes, you'll be able to access this slide. I will put this on our website. I'll put this on your social media, and you'll get this emailed out to you with more information to contact. So thank you so much, and thank you, St. Vincent de Paul, for all that you're doing. And thank you, and hopefully we can volunteer with you again soon. Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you.
Up next, Thread was going to be one of our speaking, engaging partners for our event with the loading dock March was International Women's Month. The Loading Dock is a woman-led organization. Thread is a woman-led organization. Nonprofits have kind of the same, reflect the same things as a lot of the private industry of not having as much female representation in leadership roles. So we wanted to make sure that we highlighted the amazing things that Thread is doing, but also there's really good ways of getting involved with Thread. So Janelle, are you able to unmute? Let me see.
Hi.
Okay, there we go. Good. Everyone knows how to work Zoom. This is great. Hi, Janelle.
Hi, how are you? Good morning, everyone. So I am Janelle Harvey. I'm a Community Networks and Events Volunteer Coordinator at Thread. I want to say thank you to Emily for having us, and thank you to you all for all the wonderful work that you all are doing to support the community in this really unpredictable and unprecedented time. So I will try to keep this as short as possible because I am a chatty patty. So Thread is a nonprofit organization that is Baltimore based. We have been operating here for the past 16 years, and essentially everything that we do is centered around relationships. We truly believe that it is who you're connected with that makes the biggest difference in terms of the trajectory of people's lives and also for the trajectory of the community. So essentially in the work that we do, we utilize the power of relationships to create change, and our engagement is twofold. The first level engagement is with young people in Baltimore City Public Schools. We begin engaging young people in 9th grade, and these young people are tremendously talented, brilliant, valuable, but they are facing some of the biggest opportunity gaps in terms of their achievement. And what we do as an organization, we commit to them for 10 years, and we pair them with what we call a Thread family. This is a cohort of up to 3 to 4 volunteers who huddle around a young person and provide them support in the same way that you would for your child, niece, nephew, or anyone that you love. And this support goes on to allow these young people to overcome some tremendous odds and complete some awesome things. The second level of our engagement is centered around the concept of social isolation, not only in terms of actual social isolation fueled by loneliness, but also the social isolation that is born out of us being in our particular silos based on socioeconomic background, politics, zip code, age, race, or anything of that sort. So what we are also seeking to do is connect adults in Baltimore City to allow them to have their own community, get together to do work to support our young people, but also get together to build their own community and support each other. So even though during this time we are physically distant, we are still very much socially close to each other. And there are a number of ways that individuals can get involved and assist young people and also other members of Baltimore's community. So the first way that people can get involved in supporting Thread is providing access to technology. As you know, our young people are not in schools physically, and a lot of the work that they are doing is online. Because of some of the opportunity gaps that our young people face, they don't have access to technology. So if you have computers, laptops, tablets, or anything of that sort that you can donate, or you know of organizations or projects that are allowing young people access to technology, you can donate those services to Thread so that we can support our young people in completing our work and also assisting them in staying connected to their Thread community and also the community at large and the resources that they need to thrive. Additionally, we have a network of what we call collaborators. These are people who provide essential services that allow the families that we support to thrive. In particular, we are looking for accountants, tax professionals who are able to lend their services so that our students' families can file their taxes and submit documents that will allow them to be eligible to receive COVID relief funds. So if you have access to those type of resources, or you are skilled in that manner, we would love to have you come on and support our young people in that way. Also, we are partnered with New Psalmist Baptist Church, which is a pillar in our community, and we have paired together to do food drives that are happening every Saturday up until the end of May, perhaps may extend a little bit longer depending on how everything goes. So we are seeking volunteers who are willing to come out and distribute food, groceries, and other resources that will support not only young people in Thread, but also other families in the Baltimore metropolitan area. And also, per usual, we are still seeking volunteers for Thread, individuals who would like to get involved and join Thread families. Once again, even though we are physically distant, we are very much socially close. We are still doing things like getting together for game nights, movie nights, phone calls, chat sessions, and really building that relationship and being there for each other during this time. Also, a number of volunteers are getting together to work on projects that are supporting our young people, including procuring PPE, food services, food drives, distributing things such as Easter baskets and things of that sort. So if you're interested in getting involved in that way and also getting involved with other adults in the city through volunteering with Thread, that is still very much an option. If you would like more information about what we do, you can go to www.thread.org/volunteer. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Thread Baltimore. And if you would like any additional information, you most certainly can reach out to me directly. You can find me at janelle.harvey@thread.org. That's JENELLE.HARVEY@thread.org. And I can also be reached via phone at 443-687-9145. So we would love to have you, and any information that you need about getting involved, please contact us and find us online. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janelle. Thread is an amazing organization doing really wonderful things in Baltimore. And it's good to see that people can still get involved even right now. I know a lot of your programming is, about connecting people, but this is a great resource. So thank you again. Thank you. So I'm going to kind of breeze through the next few slides because we've got a lot still to go through and not a whole lot of time. So Baltimore City Schools, like I said, all of this will be sent out to you. So you don't need to write any of this down. But if you are interested, you can always come back and get this information, the contact information. Baltimore City Schools have 18 different locations throughout the city that are in need of help with the food distribution. So there's a school-specific interest form or a general interest form. I don't exactly know what the general interest form would be doing differently than the school-specific, but maybe if you just didn't really care where you went. So next slide. The Salvation Army, I kind of hinted at this a little bit before. Salvation Army right now is one of the people that we're matching our volunteers up with through our COVID site. They are in need, and starting I think on Monday, about 40 volunteers a day to help deliver meals to elderly residents. You'll be working with the Department of Transportation and driving around delivering these meals. You can sign up through our website, and if your interests do match, you can't tell me you don't want to deliver meals and want to deliver meals. So please make sure that you check that you want to deliver meals if you want to do these things. But we will send your information over to the Salvation Army. And Meals on Wheels, also one of our partners in the past. They are not doing meal delivery right now in Baltimore City, but if you are interested in going to another location outside of the city, there are some availabilities with that. Grocery shopping, meal packing, and client wellness calls are all opportunities to get involved with Meals on Wheels. Right now, and you can fill out a volunteer application. Again, all of these things, if you are interested, you can also send us an email. You can fill out our form, and we will try to get you in touch with other people directly. And then, so I did kind of breeze through those. So like I said, come back to them if you were interested in getting more of that information, but I do want to be mindful of the time. I think we're probably already over. So Liz Avery, who is one of our events committee members, is going to present a little bit of information of how you can volunteer from home. hopefully fairly briefly, Liz.
I will certainly keep it brief. Good morning, everyone. So if you do not feel like in-person volunteering, there are ways to help from home. So the first one is you can make face masks for the hospitals. Station North Tool Library is really facilitating this. They're a community hub within Baltimore City. They've got a great website. We've got some statistics. They've got 793 masks donated so far. And their website provides instructions about how to make masks. There's video tutorials. You also can register, download patterns, and then depending on where you want your mask to go, say Johns Hopkins or Maryland, that would be, you have to make sure that you're doing the right pattern. And then it also provides drop-off locations, and Station North Tool Library handles the rest, including disinfecting. If you need a machine, a sewing machine, you can also borrow one from them. And then they did want to note that please don't participate if anyone in your household is feeling sick or has been diagnosed with coronavirus. And then there's multiple drop-off locations, the video tutorials as well. And then even if you're like myself and cannot sew, you can even donate materials and donate money to help people, to help those who can make these masks. Some businesses are helping to provide materials such as Joann Fabrics and Domesticity Fabrics as well. It's while supplies last. And then you can also go to Johns Hopkins Hospital, University of Maryland Medical System, and Kennedy Krieger Institute to also see how you can give your mask to them specifically. We've got links within this PowerPoint for all the location drop-offs and any instructions. You can even do in-person mask making at CSC, and we have a sign-up link for that as well. So you would sign up for a shift. They are taking the proper social distancing protocols, and then that is at a location within Baltimore. And if you just don't want to do mask making, you can always do cards of encouragement. You can make those cards and have those sent out to hospitals if you would like. We did provide some sample wording, such as thank you, we're staying home for you, not all heroes wear capes, some wear scrubs. Please keep in mind that to not include any glitter, confetti, or religious references on your cards. The glitter and confetti gets really messy. And then we also provide instructions on how to send your cards. And then once you make those, please show us to us and tag us on social media at Volunteering Untapped on Facebook and Instagram. We would love to see them. Let's see what else. And then there's no need to send the cards individually. You can say if you make 10 cards, put them all in one envelope and then send all those together. Okay. And
just want to jump in real quick. That one of the cool things about Station North Tool Library is that they also rent out sewing machines. So
yeah,
if you have even a little bit of talent sewing straight lines, which is pretty easy to learn, you could rent a sewing machine from them and then kind of crank it out. Domesticity Fabrics is also a local fabric shop. It's off of Harford Road. They are a great resource for purchasing materials locally. They will deliver within a 5-mile radius. If it's over $35 for free, it's $5. If it's under $35, or 5 to 10 miles out, or you can actually pick up for curbside. But they have kind of a great website that makes it easy to figure out how much fabric you need. They're also really responsive if you just want to ask them directly what you would need to get. A lot of the patterns are great that they have that information of, specifically what you would need. And they also have free and reduced price fabric for making these masks if you have a financial concern, but the ability to do it. So both great resources for how to make and send and the face masks for hospital workers. And then these cards. So we have done cards a couple of times, and it's always a popular thing of making these handmade cards, but they turn out beautiful and people really appreciate, you know, that it shows that you're thinking of them and keeping them in your thoughts. It's a really touching thing for people, especially the hospital workers. So you can send these cards to Kennedy Krieger Institute. You can send them for staff, so nurses, doctors, support staff. And if you want, you can also send for Kennedy Krieger to some of the patients. I would probably mark them so that they realize who it's going to. And you can also send pictures if you don't want to send it in person or send the physical card. You can send the pictures to Jamie Kerman, whose email is listed, but also if you would include us on it just so we can see the beautiful art that you're making. And then you can also send the pictures over to University of Maryland Medical System and tag us in the pictures so we can spread the love a little bit further too. Yes, Chelsea, we are going to share the PowerPoint after through kind of every channel that we can. So Kennedy Krieger, also one of our partners, our partner for birthday events every February. They are, like I said, collecting these cloth masks. They're also doing meals for caregivers. So this would be a little bit of a financial donation. If you want, you could go in on it with some friends. It costs about $6 to $10 per meal. Oh wait, are you on? Okay, wait, who's talking? No. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that Jamie did not end up joining the call after all. So, and also bringing some snacks, some non-perishable food items over to them. They've been asked not to leave the building, so this is incredibly helpful for the parents and the families over there. And providing games and crafts, probably I would assume that the pre-packaged crafts, the individual crafts, a lot of those you can find at like Michael's and the craft supply stores. Those are nice for the kids to have when they're in their hospital room. And then meals for staff is always appreciated too. So there's some more information there. You can reach out to me, and Jamie's information, Jamie Kerman's information was on the slide before that if you wanted to reach directly out directly to Kennedy Krieger. Baltimore Neighbors Network is also another organization that is doing great work in Baltimore City. This is one that you can do from the comfort of your couch, where you would be kind of calling to check on more vulnerable residents in Baltimore City. They do a little bit of a training on how you can offer support, but there is their information. Try to breeze through this. But also one of the easiest ways that you can help is to donate. You know, like I said, a lot of these organizations are facing some real financial difficulties right now by not being able to do the programming that they expected to do. And, you know, the spring, summer, fall is the busiest time for a lot of these organizations when they can actually provide the most events and programming. So please, if you have the ability, consider donating to your favorite or favorite organizations. Quickly, the CARES Act, like I said, I'm not an accountant, so don't take this as gospel, but the CARES Act that was passed by Congress allows for a $300 above the line donation or deduction for people that do not itemize, which means that basically it reduces your annual income by that $300, so you would not be taxed on that. But hopefully that will encourage you to give up to $300 if you have the ability. Amazon Smile, please use this link if you are shopping for any of these wish lists, and it will benefit Volunteering Untapped. A portion of your purchase will go to our organization, which we are a nonprofit, so we will accept that money. Here's another couple of organizations that we really like and feel strongly about, and how you can help them. St. Francis Neighborhood Center Living Classrooms has Amazon Smile wish list or wish list that you can provide tangible items to. Maryland New Directions, Beautiful Feast, Helping Up Mission, and this is blocked. Ignatius Volunteer Court. They are, I'll have donation links on their website, so please check them out. And another great way to help, Johns Hopkins Children's House. Like I said, a lot of these programming activities and fundraisers cannot go on right now. So their April 19th race, fundraising 6K obviously cannot happen, but the need for financial support is always there for them. So they're having a virtual race. I don't know whether you need to leave your home for it, but what you do get is a t-shirt and that you're actually making a real difference with them. So that's a great way to also help out nonprofits, especially the Children's Hospital. One of my favorite quotes when it comes to volunteering, maybe you've seen it before from Mr. Rogers, but look for the helpers. You always find people that are helping, which is so true and always so heartwarming to me in this position, because I get to be surrounded by people helping all the time. And it's really, I think, what keeps Baltimore running. So you being on this call shows that you really are one of those people, and that you are incredibly appreciated by me and by the people that you're affecting. I think this really is an opportunity to bring people together, even though we cannot physically be together. Ooh, like breezing through this. Okay. So Volunteering Untapped, we are still plugging along, doing what we do, even though it's virtual. If you are interested in getting more involved with our organization, we would love for you to think about joining a committee. We have an events committee that will help plan future events. The events committee was instrumental in putting this on, so thank you, Kelly and Liz. Our marketing committee helped us get the word out there. We've got some real opportunities, since everybody's home on Facebook and Instagram all day, that we can do even more marketing. And the volunteer engagement, we want to really attract as many volunteers around Baltimore City as possible. So that would be helping with that. Plus, we have no date yet scheduled. It usually is in October. We don't know whether that's going to happen, but the Untapping Potential Summit Committee, we are going to start recruiting members for. So if you're interested in helping with our summit, whether that's going to be in October or virtual or down the road, we definitely need a lot of help with that. Let's see, what's our next one? Oh, no, okay. And I do, we have Emily says Charm City Run is doing a virtual race to support Maryland Food Bank. I will put that information on everything that's coming out. And I do want to, I'm going to unmute everybody. So I think I'm going to unmute everybody. I'm going to try to unmute everybody because I do want to give a shout out to our Chicago folks. If you actually, can you unmute yourself, Chicago?
Yep, I'm unmuted.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, Chicago.
Hi. Hi, everybody. So I'm Ellen Reyes. I'm the Executive Director of Volunteering Untapped Chicago. Thank you so much to the Baltimore team for having us on this call this morning. We're going to try and do something similar for our May event, but it was great to see this in action and see everybody together. Just wanted to provide a really quick update of what we're doing out here in Chicago. So similar to what Emily went over, we're doing, we're supporting a lot of our organizations with donations at this time. So whether that's donating food, helping the elderly, or helping out the homeless, we're really trying to do our part there. Some other fun stuff that we've been doing in Chicago is a lot of volunteer engagement. So we started a book club. We've been doing Whiskey Wednesday, virtual karaoke, things like that. So it's been a good time to just kind of engage with our volunteers and keep everyone connected via things like this. If you have any friends or family who are out in the Chicago area, our website is volunteeringuntappedchi.org, and we're on all of the same social platforms that Baltimore is. But just wanted to say hi and thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have anyone from Philly? Also great if you have friends or family in Philadelphia, and Chicago and Philadelphia are just doing such amazing things. They're actually all volunteer led. and just astounding of what these all volunteer-led organizations are doing. So thank you, Chicago. And I think now is the time, Teddy. What do you think? Is it time for the mandatory cheers after a VU event?
Man, oh man, I wish that this had alcohol in it, but I think it's still even early for me. But
I just opened it. I have not been drinking
oh,
it
nice. But a huge shout out to Emily for coordinating this, and an even bigger shout out to all the incredible partners that have joined us today. Man, oh man, like I can't imagine doing anything more like recapturing the spirit that we would have on a second Saturday. So it's been awesome to have everybody here. Thank you so much for all our volunteers that have joined us. And there's clearly so many ways to get involved. We'd love to have you serve on one of our committees. So please just, a big, hoorah for everybody that's getting out there and doing something great for Baltimore right now in these most challenging times. But biggest shout out to all of you for being here and being part of our amazing community. So